Good morning, Lighthouse. It's nice to be with you this morning. I've been asked to just share a few words of my story and testimony with you. For anyone who doesn't know me, my name's Maggie Rothe, and at the moment I'm on furlough from Lighthouse, where normally I'm the cafe manager. I've been around for a fair while. A lot of you will know a little bit about me, but maybe this morning I'll just give you a quick insight into how things have happened in my life and how God's always had his hand on those things. At the age of 12, having been brought up in the privileged place of being in a Christian home, I realised that my mum and dad were not my ticket to heaven. Now, that might seem a bit strange to some of you, but when you're young, you think, well, I go to church. My mum and dad are Christians. Oh, well, that must count for something. But at the age of 12, I really felt God say, you have to do this for yourself. It's between you and me, and you can't use someone else as your passport into heaven. So at the age of 12, I decided I wanted to be in a direct way related to God. And the way to get to him was through Jesus. At the age of 13, I was baptised by immersion in our church. And since then, God's always had his hand on my life. There's been ups and downs, but he's always been there. And there's one particular verse in the Bible that really comes back to me time and time again. A lot of you will know it, and when I tell you it's in the book of Jeremiah, some of you've probably guessed it already. It's actually Jeremiah chapter 29 and verse 11. And this is what it says. I say this because I know what I have planned for you, says the Lord. I have good plans for you. I don't plan to hurt you. I plan to give you hope and a good future. And I can safely say that that's what God said to me then, and he still says today. A lot of you will know that I'm very keen on heritage and steam, and especially steam trains. So a little analogy of a steam train and me. Having said I decided my parents weren't my passport to heaven or my ticket, it's like getting on a train journey. You need a ticket before you can board the train. You have to buy that ticket, you have to meet certain requirements, and that ticket entitles you to journey on that train. And coming to Jesus and asking him to be my personal friend at the age of 12 was my way of buying a ticket. Now, as on any railway journey, it's not straightforward. There are times when you have to move seats. There are different passengers that come on and off your train, and you perhaps chat to them. Over the course of my life, I have met various people. In 1987, I met someone who was very significant and is now my husband. A lot of you also will know Tony, who I'm married to. But in 1987, that verse again came to me, and God said, I've got a plan. And his plan was for Tony and I to meet up and to get married in 1989. And then in 1990 and in 1995, he blessed us with 2 children. So I have 2 sons, Martin and Andrew. And that was all part of God's good plan for me. There's been some times when life's had a few tough times. When we'd been married a year or 2, very suddenly my dad passed away. And that was a tough time. And it's a bit like being on my railway journey and going into a tunnel. And it's dark. But you come out of those tunnels, there's light at the end of them, and you carry on. Sometimes on a railway journey, you actually stop and you change trains. You wait on the platform and you wait for the next train. And sometimes God said that to me. He's been, wait, you're getting off here, but there'll be a new journey to take. 7 years ago, I was working quite happily as an instructor at the local field study centre. And out of the blue, my journey changed. Lighthouse asked me if I would consider becoming the cafe manager at the new church when we opened. Talked about it, prayed about it, and really felt God saying, that's the next part of your journey. I go back to that verse, I know the plans I have for you. And that's what happened then. A little insight into where I've been and where I am. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. And maybe you're on that journey too. Maybe you haven't yet bought your ticket. There are many ways to get your ticket, but once you've got it, you get on board and you journey with God. And I can safely say, through all the ups and the downs, the steep bits, the tunnels and the bends, God's been there. God bless you all this morning, and I hope you have a really good week. Bye.